Hey everyone, hope you had a good Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Um, Wanted to do a video now to show you kind of what's new going on and some updates on some other things. Um, I don't really do weekly videos because there really isn't much to show, and I don't want to bore you all. So now I'm just going to show you everything what's in my garden right now. And so I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So here's my winter garden. I'm going to start with the sweet potatoes. Yep, I've got sweet potatoes going in the winter. I just wanted to, this is more of an experiment, see how it goes. Because I found a dark purple fleshed sweet potato in the store, and they don't carry that regularly, and it's the only time I've seen it so far, and the day I actually got it. That was the first time I saw it, and I haven't seen it since. So it was like mixed in with the regular white flesh sweet potato that I really like to get. And so when I saw that, and there's only like 3 or 4 of them in that whole batch, so I knew that must have been some kind of fluke or something. But I grabbed it and I cut off a piece, ate the rest, and then put the cut piece right in this pot in the dirt. And so this is the result. This was planted in November, and because obviously this section now, this whole area doesn't get as much sun as it normally does during the summertime. So of course this is growing a bit more slowly. I couldn't move it to a sunnier spot, and I just may do that, but I wanted to see how it would do just right where it is. It does get some sun earlier in the day and then later on in the afternoon. So and I wanted to grow it to also eat it for the greens, but the leaves are all spotted and they just don't look appetizing like this. So I need to figure out, or I guess feed it some more and put it, I think I just may have to move it to the sun and see if it does any better, and keep an eye on the pest issue, because if you see a lot of these have holes, and so some bug, I know definitely there's some caterpillars, because if you can see, that one is, the leaf is folded up, so that means there's I think a moth, some kind of moth caterpillar is in there. So moth caterpillar, I'm not sure which moth it is, but so that's that. And in this the lemon tree, but you see it's partially covered because that's where the chrysalis is for the giant swallowtail, and it is almost been 31 days and it still has not come out of its chrysalis. So I guess hoping it still will come out. Maybe it's just too cold, the temperature, so maybe it's overwintering, I don't know. And here, ground cherries, Peruviana variety. This is one pot here, this is another pot here, and this one, it's the main stem here is, you see it where my finger is going, it's kind of like the snake, and it kind of goes all along here, and it's kind of long, and so it kind of falls over and so it's on the ground. And then here's another branch off of this main stem right there, and then there's more branching coming out from here, so that's real good. And then the third pot right there, kind of small, a lot of the branches broke off. Not sure, I think that the wind, many times it's been very windy, and so it come out and the branches are broken off. And because the branches are kind of thin, like this one, let me show you. You see how thin this is, and so that's why it's so droopy. And I kind of lay it like that, and so that's why they break so easily when it gets really windy. And here is one that's almost ready. It's see if I can shake it and it doesn't fall off, so I'm not picking it off yet. I'm gonna wait until it drops, but you can see the difference. It's very yellow and it's really starting to dry out. And here are you know, new green ones, so you see the difference between the ones that are still growing and the ones that are almost ready, like this one. Then the green onions, scallions. Sorry for the lighting here. The sun is, but so that's that. The basil, still green for this one. Very green. Not much red in this one, because it's supposed to be dark, actually purple. It's dark purple oval basil. And very happy to finally have cilantro. It's growing pretty well this time. Last year I used the same pot. This is a 2-liter soda bottle. And last year it started out really well, and then all of a sudden they all started one by one dying. So very happy to have a good handful of spinach here. Cilantro. And I think I'm gonna have to plant some more in another 2-liter soda bottle just to have some more going. And this is the Peruviana, the same thing as those ground cherries. I wanted to grow some more, and because the reason why, because this one, the one that was in this one, completely just, I don't know, died off. I suspect it might have been mealybugs, because I did find 2 of them on there. I didn't find an infestation, so I'm not quite sure if that was really the cause, but it just all of a sudden it just started to die off. The branches just started to wither, and so it completely died off. And so there were a bunch of unripe cherries because, you know, it died, right? And so I just left them in the pot, and so some of them actually ripened a little bit. They turned, definitely a bit more yellow. And then I just cut them open and I sprinkled the seeds in here. A whole bunch of them sprouted, but then I saw them sprout one morning, and then the next morning I come out and they are all, like, their heads were eaten. So if you can see right there, there's a bunch of sprouts right there. The heads were all eaten. There was a bunch right here, all eaten. A whole bunch, because this was right here. I guess one of the fruits was in this lantern, and it was right there, and so they all, like, sprouted right here. And then all the heads were gone, and there were snails. So I went digging through this pot, trying to find all the snails I could, and got rid of them. But they're so small. I mean, they're tiny, and so I wasn't able to find them all because I knew that there were still more in there, because a few more ended up sprouting the next, a few days later, and then the day after that, those heads were gone too. So I actually dug some up. I found 2. I dug them up and put them in this yogurt pot, and so they're doing much better, getting big. And then I see that there's still more in here, and I kind of used this lantern, this old dried up lantern, to kind of as a cover. You see there's a sprout right there, and to kind of see if I would, able to cover them and keep them from the snails or not. But I think I got all the snails. But even if these do end up getting eaten, it's okay. I've got these 2, and actually there's another one sprouting right there, the newest one. So I wanted to grow more, because these 3 plants, as you can see, they don't produce a whole bunch, and they take so long to ripen. And I have that one right there ready, but you see all the other ones just, so it's kind of like I only get one to eat, like maybe every 2 weeks. And so definitely just it's not producing enough for our family to even just have a handful to snack on, because they take so long. And here I'm excited to look at all the lanterns on this one, on that right there, and on this one. So they're so cool to see all the lanterns on them. There's 2 right there on this one, and And this one's growing nice and big in the 3-gallon. I have a 7-gallon cloth pot or fabric pot coming on the way, and I think I will definitely be transplanting these into that and see if they will grow faster and bigger and do well like this one is doing in the 3-gallon. So this one, this tomato, was a surprise. It showed up at the late end of summer in this pot, and it's, look at it, it's, I mean, the longest branch of it kind of dried off and died, but this one is still going. So I kind of neglected it. I'm not a big tomato fan, but my family does eat tomatoes, and I do eat tomatoes in like sauces and things like that. So I do kind of still want to grow it, but I just haven't really been taking care of this one. And I think this one actually is not the regular tomato as far as for cooking sauces or anything like that, or putting in stews, but this is the yellow pear tomato. So and it looks like I've got another one growing here, because I think this dirt came from a pot that had old yellow pear tomatoes that I just kind of tossed into, and so then looks like the seeds sprouted and I got this plant. I'm pretty sure this is the yellow pear tomato, just because the leaves are small, and just the plant itself, I can tell the stems and the leaves from that. I'm pretty sure this is the yellow pear tomato. So we shall see. There are some blooms. You can't really tell on this, but there's a flower right there of a flower bud starting. So when they start fruiting, it will tell me for sure, confirm that this is a yellow pear. And and this is the other sweet potato pot that I put in this. This is a 3-gallon. This one was just mainly for me to grow for the greens, and kind of slow. So nothing for greens just yet. And here, nothing too spectacular about this, but just wanted to show you this basil actually is starting to kind of, this one, see, has some purple coloring. So I don't know why this one has purple coloring and the other one doesn't. And some new things. So here is the Swiss chard, rainbow Swiss chard. This one is, as you can see, yellow. I thought this one was going to be red, because when it first came out, I don't know if I can show you where. Because before, when it first came out, this was, this leaf. Okay, that part of it was reddish, and so now, as you can see, and the stems, they're green, so this must be just the plain green Swiss chard. But at least I got one that has color on it, and that's yellow. So nice to have some coloring. Oh, these ants. Thankfully they're not the biting ants, they're just the crazy ants, but they're all over me. So Swiss chard, yep, that's the new thing. It's been a while since I've had Swiss chard. They taste really good, and I love the color on them when you get the ones that like red or yellow, or I'm not sure what else is in the color of the rainbow Swiss chard pack that I got, but so it's doing pretty well. Look how big that is, and I know they can get really big. So not enough yet. I can't really, not much yet for me to harvest. I'm gonna wait a little longer before I harvest them to eat, and I just stir fry it with some garlic and olive oil. Tastes real good. And this one is, I've been so excited, so happy to finally find a local place here that had seeds, because they were out of stock from Baker Creek, and I couldn't find it anywhere else online, any of the other online seed shops. But I was so ecstatic to find that local nursery here finally had it, and they had it in stock. So I immediately grabbed it up. So the minute they posted on their social media that the Roselle was in stock, I immediately went and grabbed it before it sells out because I didn't know how popular it is or not. I didn't know if it was popular and if it would sell out really fast or not. So I went and got it. I'm so happy. And so this is the Roselle. If you don't know what Roselle is, it is hibiscus saberiferum, and this is what is used for hibiscus tea. And I learned also from other videos, I never knew this, but you can make it into jam. So I'm really excited. And too, the flower is very different because I thought hibiscus tea came from the flower petals of the regular hibiscus bushes that I see all around in people's yards, in the front yards, they use as hedges and stuff. And but come to find out, and I learned this year that nope, the hibiscus tea does not come from that. Or I think I've read also that some people do actually use the flower petals, but basically from the dried hibiscus tea that I buy, it's really made from the calyxes of this one, and the flowers are very different too. So they look very similar to okra flowers, if you know what they look like. And so I'm excited to have this growing, and I just planted it now, even though it's winter time. I planted it now too, because winter here is very different. It's been in the 70s the last couple of weeks, so I just planted it now just to see, experiment, and it's doing well. So kind of getting a head start, and hopefully it'll grow nice and big and be ready to harvest maybe sooner than other places, because I think harvest time usually is around August, September, I think, or maybe a little bit later, but so we'll see. I'm very excited. Because the reason why I'm so excited is because I drink hibiscus tea almost every day, and I drink it and I mix it with lemongrass. So, and I'm just about out of the 1 pound of hibiscus tea that I bought. So, of course, it will take a while for this to have enough for me to even harvest for tea, but I'm just happy to have my own to grow, and I can have my own source of hibiscus tea. So, and here is pepper. Let me turn this around. I definitely need to transplant this as well, because this is in a 1 gallon fabric pot, and I have a pepper here. Where is it now? Let me turn this around a little bit more. And please excuse the messy garden yard, because this is not, we rent here, and so I'm just thankful that I'm even able to have my containers out here and stuff. So and right now I have it where I have it because of the sun. I normally have it with all the other pots that I just showed you earlier, but there's no other space for them to get the sun that they need. So I moved them here to a different part of the yard, and to get the sun. So that's what I love about container gardening, is that you can just easily move it when necessary, and this is a perfect instance of when it's necessary for them to get the sun. Because in that other area that all the other ones are, it's during the winter time, it doesn't get very much sun. So here's a pepper, and it doesn't look very good. I'm not sure. It I think one of those leaf miner bugs got to this pepper. It I don't know if you can tell, like here, it's like they got underneath a very thin layer of skin. If you know what leaf miners are, and you've seen it on the leaves, where it's like these lines, they make like these tracks in the leaves, and that's exactly what happened on the pepper, all over the pepper. And so a lot of it now, the very thin skin has peeled, and so I don't know if this dark spots is like sunburn or what. And this is the biggest it's going to get, because it has not grown, and so now it looks like it's just going to end up ripening at this size. And so definitely I need to transplant this, and until I do, then I need to feed it some more, for sure. It needs a bigger pot. And the other new thing I have going on is, if you can tell, these are beets. It's called the bull's blood beets, and so I'm excited. Not a whole lot in this pot because it is a 3-gallon, but like I said before, I have my 7-gallon fabric pots on the way, and so once I get that, I will be planting some more, and so I can get some more, because I think I only have about, I didn't count, but it's probably I have about 7 in here, and obviously in a 3-gallon pot you can't get very many, and they may or may not get very big because of the size, but I'm excited and to have some beets growing and to see how big they will actually, if I can get them to grow, and how well they will do. So definitely I've been feeding it some compost, some regular, I use a tomato tone fertilizer as well. So I will update you on the process in the next video then. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it. Not too much, nothing really too exciting, no harvest yet, but so this is what I've got for this time, for this video. And so I will see you next time.